Hey guys, welcome to I've Never Said This Before with me, Tommy Didario. My guest today is the magical actress Danielle Savre, who is one of those people that you chat with and time just stands still. I was so utterly absorbed in the present during this conversation that I had no idea almost an hour had gone by. Danielle has such a gift with bringing characters to life, but it's through her portrayal of Maya Bishop in Station 19 for 7 seasons that the world just fell in love with her. It's a character that will forever live on to so many as one of the most important representations of love for the LGBTQ plus community. And today is a conversation that is good for the soul. It's like a cup of soup, good for the heart and soul. Yes, we are celebrating the work of hers that you love, but then we are taking on so many things that we all experience in everyday life that perhaps we don't always feel comfortable talking about. It is such a special episode. So, let's see if today we can get Danielle to say something that she has never said before. Danielle Savre, hi.
Hi, Tommy. How are you?
I am so good. We have been wanting to do this for a long time now.
We have. When was our last one? Do you remember when it was exactly?
It was well over a year. I think it was May 2024.
Wow.
I know.
Time flies. But we stayed in touch the whole time.
Yes, we have. And we tried to do something beginning of the year, but then, of course, the horrific fires happened, and that was just crazy for everybody. So I'm glad you're safe and sound, and you're here today looking like a dream.
It's all an illusion. It's like straight through exhaustion. But I got to come out to New York one of these days and actually see you in person, too.
I
Do a proper hug.
I know. I would love to have you in New York. That would be so much fun. I have to start by saying this is a very special day because is this not your birthday eve?
Birthday eve? Yes, it is.
It is your birthday eve. Are you a birthday girl? Do you love a celebration?
I say I used to so cautiously because I always every year go all out. And this year, for some reason, I was so tired. And like last year was a little bit too. And I don't know if this just happens with age too. But everybody's like, what do you want to do for your birthday? And I was like, nothing. I want to like sleep and get a massage. But it's unique because I usually go all out. I mean, I've done in the past, I've rented yachts. I've had huge blowouts. I've gone on like crazy trips to Italy. Like I usually go all out. So I don't know why this year I was wanting something. I mean, what am I talking about? The year has been crazy with travels. I think it was just the month of August. I was like, this is my 1 month to relax. And so I'm kind of using my birthday as an excuse. But we'll see. We'll see if after my birthday passes with this kind of very calm birthday that I want this year, that if I end up kind of regretting that. I hope I don't. I hope that I'm very happy with this decision, but we'll see when it passes. I'll let my friends know.
And it can be a birthday month, so you know.
Exactly. But I usually am. What about you? Are you a big birthday person?
It could be like hit or miss. It kind of like you know, it depends. I've done some really big things for it, and then not so much other years. So we'll see. January is a very big birthday for me. It's 40.
See, that is where I'm kind of, because I'm turning 37. And so this is where I'm kind of in this middle ground of like, I kind of want to wait. I kind of want to keep it chill. And then 40 go big. Yeah. So are you doing something big for your 40th?
I have to figure it out. You know, it's funny. My husband's turning 40 in October, and I've been like, what do you want to do? What do you want to do? And he's like, you know, I don't actually want a big party. I want you and I to go to Milan and just like see Lake Como and have a few days in Italy. So I'm taking him to Italy, and that's his 40th.
That's perfect. Isn't that interesting though? When we get older too, you're kind of like, I just want like the simple, like just you and your partner, or, you know, just the closest people, which, yeah, it evolves as we get older. But 40, I'm surprised he doesn't want to, well, going to Lake Como is huge. What am I talking about? You guys are still going all out. It's just the two of you, which is really special.
Yeah, I'm excited. And we'll do like little, you know, smaller dinners with different groups of friends and stuff. But it should be really, really fun. I'm much more of the like, let's have a massive party and like decorate with 1,000 balloons. And he's like, let's go away. So we'll see what I end up doing in January. But do you get really reflective? Like when I have a birthday, I'm so kind of emo and reflective, and I think of all the things. Do you get like that or not really?
I haven't in the past, not that I can recall. No, I might be now that I'm getting older. I'll report back after tomorrow's birthday. But like, if it starts to happen, I don't think I ever have before. I always looked at birthdays as also to add to this is it was a way to guilt all of my friends into getting together in one place on one day. And I would always tell them that because so many of my friends live in different states, in different cities. And it was this great way of being like, it's my birthday. So all of you guys have to do what I say and come on this boat or come on this thing because so many of our lives get so busy with kids and work. And so it was kind of a nice, I do enjoy that about birthdays, talking about being reflective. And I love sitting back and getting to see all of my friends who all love each other. It's just life gets complicated, but all of us get together and just laugh. And I really enjoy that. Yeah, that's basically what I love about birthdays. So we'll see if I miss that this year because I'm not going to get that.
Yeah. Well, I hope whatever you end up doing, whether it's chilling or deciding to go all out in 2 weeks, you're going to have a great time. And I'm sending you birthday wishes. And today we are celebrating you. So I'm so happy you're here.
Thank you. Thank you.
So Danielle, my goodness, you have
Yeah.
played so many different characters that, people love, and you've showed such great range, and it's just always a joy to see what you have up your sleeve. Of course, I feel like the world fell in love with you through playing Maya in Station 19 for 7 seasons, which is just such an accomplishment in itself. Shows do not go on for that long. So that's like, whoa, 7 seasons. My God, not many artists can say that. And it's been about a year and change since that went off the air. How would you say you've grown or changed the most as a person in this last year?
Oh my gosh. I feel like I've actually grown a lot. And to try to quantify how is going to be a little difficult, but I'm sure you'll get it out of me. It was interesting. When Station 19 ended, I kind of did this kind of like hit the ground running. I was like, okay, I know how lucky as an actor I am to be on a show for 7 seasons. And I was like, I need to get out there and try to get a job right off the bat. Like that was kind of my motivation right when it ended, even though I was grieving Station 19 ending. And I was lucky and grateful to get a job right away going to Found. And I've evolved as an actor playing a different character, having the confidence to know I can play a character that was so different than Maya. And then Found ended and is officially not going for a third season. And that's when it officially like hit me. I just like this moment of like, oh my God, Station 19 is over. Like, I don't know why I was kind of in this like, yeah, I don't know what it's called. I was like in this middle area thinking like, okay, I'll finish Found and then I'll go back to Station 19. And it really hit me once Found was officially over that I was like, oh wow, no, it's over. Like that era, that character, that story being told is over. And so that it's been a process ever since probably only like about June that I've been like, wow, I'm really mourning and grieving the loss of Maya Bishop. I love that she lives on, obviously, in the streaming world, but getting to play her and put on the uniform and tell such important stories. So I've grieved, and that doesn't really talk about me evolving. I'm trying to now think of how I've evolved. I evolved as an actor. I think I evolved the most though while playing Maya. While I was on the show, I evolved so much, and then was able to, once it ended, go, okay, now let me take all these tools that are in my tool belt that I learned playing this character because the writers gave me such amazing material and really tested the limits of what I was capable of doing, that I was able to then jump onto another character and use these tools. And so I was able to walk away with that confidence. So I've evolved as a more confident actress. I've evolved as a more confident person. I've really learned I don't know if this is through personal things in life or through the worlds of social media and having a character that's so beloved. And no matter who you are on social media, you see the good and the bad of that world. And I've had to basically, and I said it recently, I was like, walk away going like, okay, I'm not everyone's cup of tea. And it's the best way to take on the world of criticism, which is very much at everyone's fingertips these days. So I've gotten thicker skin, but also been able to, weirdly enough, and I don't know, maybe just through therapy, still maintain my vulnerability with the fans because it's hard. It's hard to be vulnerable and also get backlash for something. Someone doesn't like something. Someone just doesn't like you. Who knows? I'm not everyone's cup of tea, but I've definitely grown a thicker skin, but somehow, and I'm really grateful for this, been able to maintain my vulnerability with the fans. Or with just audience members in general that connect in one way or another. So that's something I really have grown and evolved a lot from which I never thought. It's so crazy. Every time I talk to my therapist about social media, I was like, it feels weird to be talking about social media in this context in a therapy session. And you realize it's such a huge part of our lives, that having a healthy relationship with it is really important. What else did I evolve in? I was like, I've become more at peace and not feeling like I always need to, even though I'm still always tired. I don't know how that's happening, but really learn to just be at peace with, even right now. I'm really taking this downtime, even though obviously can be so anxiety provoking to be an actor who's unemployed. Everybody always is like, you're not unemployed. I'm like, you are. You're either working or you're not. Like, those are the two versions of being an actor. You're on the hunt for a job, but those are really what you are. And so I've really learned to take this time as going, okay, I have the confidence that another job is going to come. Because obviously that anxiety can come, wash over you, that it's never going to happen again. But I know that another job's going to come. And so I'm really trying to utilize this time to find things I love. I didn't really have hobbies before. I started working when I was 7 with print and commercials, and then did my first TV show when I was 12. And so I've always kind of been on this hamster wheel. And I'm finally, for the first time after a very successful show that fulfilled me so much, I have this downtime. And it scared me at first. And now I'm taking tennis lessons. I'm learning French, like shout out to Duolingo. So I'm reading books. Like, I'm really trying to utilize it and find peace with just being in the calm. So those are, I think, the ways I've evolved.
Those are good ways to evolve. There's a lot to dive into here, and this is why I love talking to you. You are like my type of person. We could have a 40-hour long podcast. Like, I'm here for all of this. So the first thing I want to touch on, I guess, is I find it so interesting. It really started. You really started your grieving process for that role for Maya in June, which is well over a year after the show finished. And that's so interesting that I feel like, in a way, you mentioned you were on the hunt for another job and you were auditioning, and like you almost didn't want to allow yourself that time to grieve, right? You just kind of threw yourself in work and you booked something immediately, and that was just, that in a way was one of your forms of grief. But then June hits and you're like, oh my God, wait, it's kind of quiet right now, and now I really have to face my feelings on this.
Yeah. No, it's great when you actually say it back to me too, because that is what it was. It was really trying to avoid the inevitable of feeling that grief. So that is what it was. But yeah, it hit me. It took me a second to realize when June hit what it was, because I was like, what is happening with me? I was just super emotional and super I felt like my worth was so wrapped up in my work. And specifically playing a character for 7 years was wrapped up in Maya. So I could I delayed that grief until after Found, because I was able to immerse myself into another character. But once that was over, I was really kind of like, wow, who am I if I'm not playing Maya Bishop?
That's something I think so real for so many of us. I mean, I've certainly gone through that and tied my worth to different types of jobs and different shows I'm on. And, it's a slippery slope, but we do it. And I think the realization that you have, or that maybe you're having right now, is that you're so much more beyond just the work, is really powerful, and something that I wish I learned, a couple of years ago, even myself. So I love that. I love this journey for you. I'm really here for all of this. This is so nice to hear, when someone's kind of seeing themselves in not just a workhorse light, and that's all you have to offer, because you have so much to offer. So it's cool that you're on this journey for sure. Do you allow yourself to kind of fantasize, what if one day it comes back? What if one day I get to play it again? Or is that too hard for you to do? Does it unleash too many feelings?
No, I would be jumping for joy if this came back, if I got to play Maya Bishop. I mean, I will crack jokes with people over at Grey's being like, just bring her back. Like, I'll just stand in the background. Just let me put the uniform back on. So I would be so happy. It would probably be emotional, but still so happy if Maya Bishop were able to come back in some form. But, it's actually harder just to think about it, because at this point it's so hard to believe that would happen. I used to hold so much, like, Save Station 19, and I used to hold so much hope, and it just feels like the further we get from it ending, the harder it is to believe that is a possibility. But I'm like, a little kid like that. I always will hope and dream that maybe one day. But
Yeah, you have to. You have to hold on to any sort of hope and dreaming because why not? It doesn't hurt. It doesn't
no,
hurt. It
no.
doesn't hurt. And you don't know what it puts out in the universe. Another thing that I love about the work you've done is how much the character specifically meant to an entire community of people. And I know this is something you've spoken about quite a bit. But for me, like, and I probably told you this in conversation at some point, I never grew up with that sort of a representation of a couple, whether they were two women together or two men. I just didn't. So it's just so cool that that's something that makes so many people feel seen, and that will live on forever, forever and ever and ever. And that will always exist as one of the most important couples to so many people. Of course, the name was dubbed Marina, right? Maya and
Yeah.
Karina.
Yeah.
Did you have a specific moment where you realized the magnitude of that?
It was definitely delayed. I mean, in the moment, we were just loving playing these characters, me and Stefania, and it it probably didn't hit me till honestly a season after the character because I think we it was season three and then season four. So I think, and because we were also living the pandemic. So we also didn't know the reach it was having because you're talking to people on social media, but you really just don't know what it's like out in the real world because we weren't having access to it. So it probably wasn't until after like season four, like 2 seasons of basically, or a season and a half of playing this couple that really it hit me the impact it was having. And also from episode to episode, we didn't know what was gonna happen with the characters. But yeah, it took a long time to realize it, and I don't know why that is necessarily, but it has meant so much to me. Going back to what you said, I love that we do live in the world of streaming these days, where that show, hopefully forever, will always be something that people can watch, especially those that need that representation, that feel alone, because it's so important. And I just don't. I see it feels like less and less right now, which is weird, but with characters like this, but yeah, I'm happy it's going to live on. But it took me a long time to realize the impact it had. And honestly, it was probably also, I do, as I think you know, I do a lot of the fan conventions. I love interacting with fans, like love it. And it probably also didn't fully hit me until the first fan convention, walking into a room with hundreds and hundreds of people and getting to hear their stories firsthand. It was something that at first scared me. I didn't realize how much of an impact it was going to have on me. I was nervous walking into it. I was like, what to expect? And realizing and getting to hear people's stories firsthand. Because on social media, so many comments and messages that it's hard to keep up and you're getting little snippets. But in person, you're getting those couple minutes, really getting to stand and talk to somebody and hug them and hear their story and get to hear how much this character meant to them in so many different ways. And that was probably where it hit me the hardest. It also put the most pressure on me. It actually kind of scared me because I was like, wow, I was like, this means so much to so many. I can't screw this up, you know?
Yeah.
So
That's something that I guess because I'm not an actor, I wouldn't think of it is. Yeah, I'm sure that is stress inducing to know there's a relationship that actually signifies so much more to people than just the characters. It goes beyond that. That does feel like pressure.
yeah. Well, it was funny. This whole show in general, Station 19, had the pressure of, at first, it was the pressure to represent female firefighters because my sister is one. And then it switched and it's this pressure of really representing an authentic queer character and a queer couple on network television. And that became so important to me. But yeah, there's that pressure to be like, hey, don't screw this up. But what I realized, and maybe I was doing it in the moment because I put so much pressure on myself at first once it hit me, is I started going, okay, no, the only thing I can do is just be honest and vulnerable and play it as real as possible. Like, I'm not trying as much as I want to make everyone happy. You're not going to make everyone happy, but I have to just play this authentic and true. And then leaned into what the writers gave me, which is really, I mean, they get the big award for it because they really wrote such an amazing character and such an amazing couple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you didn't have anxiety for the entire 7 seasons of the show.
Yeah, thank God. In different ways, in very different ways. I feel like us actors are kind of walking around as anxious balls of energy anyways, but yeah.
Yeah.